call meeting order with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carter. Mixer.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Non-agenda from the sidelines, I have nothing. Student administrators. Justin? Keith?
Nothing, sir.
I don't have anything myself. The agenda.
We have one item to add under new business number 5, fire department truck purchase. Make a motion to that effect.
Second.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes. Let's see, okay, nomination and election of mayor pro tem. I would like to have Mr. Schneider to be my mayor pro tem. Does anybody have a issue with that?
I'll make a motion that
Support.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
No.
Sofa.
Yes.
Is it yes or no? Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Say it on the record.
Motion carried. Here.
All right. Adoption of parliamentary procedures. We use Robert's Rules of Orders. Anybody else have anything on that one?
I'll make a motion to enact Robert's Rules of Order with an amendment allowing miscellaneous items from the mayor and council to be raised under new business.
Support.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes. Approval of depositors for the city funds. We're using Lakestone
Okay.
Bank of America.
I'll make a motion that we use the Lakestone Bank for checking account certificate of deposit, commercial bank for municipal investments, pool and certificates of deposit.
Support.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
All right, everybody's seen their list of recommendations that I'm making for our council committees with one change on there for library liaison. I'm going to change that to Ken Riley, okay? Is everybody good with the recommendations that I laid out here?
Yep.
Yes, fine.
I'm good, but for finance, you have a more qualified person here, but I'm happy to take a position. Yes. Another thing I
You
want to
don't, you don't mind if I take it over once in a while?
Oh, man, not at all. Just keep me in the loop.
Okay.
Can I make a motion to adopt as presented? There you go.
Support.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Bart?
How you doing?
Just in time, appointment of our street administrator, which is currently held by Bart Dunsmore.
I'll make a motion that we have Bart Desmore, street administrator.
Support.
Wilson.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
All right, appointment of purchasing agent, finance coordinator, budget officer, and Freedom of Information Act coordinator. And that's our city clerk, Ms. Jansen's.
I will make a motion to appoint Donna Jansen as our purchasing agent, finance officer, budget officer, and Freedom of Information Act coordinator.
Support.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Determination of Planning Commission Council Representatives currently held by Larry Wilson. And Larry, if you'd like to continue, that would be great.
That'd be fine.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder.
Yes. Determination of Building Commission composition, currently 2 members of council with the building, electrical, and plumbing, or electrical, plumbing, and mechanical inspectors. So currently it's J.C. Sofa and Ken Riley. Would you guys be willing to stay on those positions?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that we have Jason Sofa and Ken Riley appointed to the building commission.
Support.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Appointment of Parks and Rec Director, it's currently held by Judy Weaver, and my understanding is she would still be willing to stay in that position.
Is that jointly held? Wasn't there 2, or is it all just her now?
There was, when she first she came in, there was.
They switched
it was
it
her,
to 2 people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
there
was her,
were 2.
but really, she.
I don't know how it's being handled right now,
Oh,
honestly.
okay. All right. I'll make a
But she
mo-
is the main person, so she
Okay.
can appoint someone if she wants.
All right, I'll make that motion for Judy Weaver.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Okay, appointment of Cable Commission representatives. Currently, Anita is our alternative with Robbie Mazer currently as a council representative.
I'll
Are you
make,
good with that?
I'll make a motion to appoint Anita Levinsky as our Cable Commission representative and Robbie Mazer as our council representative.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Appointment of Zoning Board of Appeals Council representation. By city code, one member of the council sits on the board, and it currently is Mr. Self. Are you willing to stay with that position?
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Jason Sofa as the zoning board of appeals, council representative.
Support.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Appointment of our health officer, required by the charter and by city code, that's currently held by Mr. Dunsmore. I'd like Mr. Dunsmore to stay in that position, would you please?
Sure. I'll make that motion.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Appointment of administration official to the planning commission is required by the code, and again, that's Mr. Dunsmore.
Why, sure.
There you go.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Bart Dunsmore as the administrator official to the planning commission.
Support.
All right, appointment of emergency, oh, I'm
Murder.
sorry, I gotta vote, yeah.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Appointment of emergency service coordinator, currently held by our fire chief, Mr. Diaz. You willing to stay on that position?
Yes. I'll make a motion to appoint Justin Diaz as emergency service coordinator.
Support.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder.
Yes. Publication of city's legal notices. Currently we use The Voice for our legals and Macomb Daily, the Times Herald, The Voice, MML, and city website or internet can be used for classifieds. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
All right, on to the minutes. Everybody get a chance to look over the minutes and November 5th, is everybody good with what was on there?
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from November the 5th as presented.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Communications, I have none. And there is no unfinished business. So on to new business. For the 2020 council meeting dates, what I would like to see us do, and this is required by our city charter, that we have one meeting a month, unless required otherwise, or we'd have to call a special meeting. So I would like to see us go down to one meeting a month, and then we have the date set for that.
And that's the first Tuesday.
It would be the first Tuesday of the month, yes.
And on the election, I think Donna, we normally, a lot of times we change that, but Donna said we can have it this time.
Last year we did both. I mean, last time we did both of them in there.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt these meeting dates as presented.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley, Schneider.
Yes.
CDBG funding. Larry?
Yes.
Bring us up to speed on this.
Everything's changing again. Donna, I couldn't attend the meeting, and Donna attended it, and I reviewed it, and I think then she typed this up for me. She thought it followed basically what transpired. That's correct, isn't it, Donna? So, okay. So they have the limited housing rehabilitation program is now up to $10,000 for qualified home repair. And they did cite a few things, like they could do like inoperative heating system, leaking roof, water heater replacement, and accessible home modifications. So that's changed. They had minor home repaired, I think it was limited to $500, I believe. Okay. The public service funding, now that hasn't changed. There was a total of $2,500. And the chore program is $300, and I think that's used for snow removal or things like that. And I think actually there's people that utilize that, from my understanding. And the public service then is what we give to charities. That's $2,200. Now that's the same as it's always been.
Right.
So if we remain in the program, then a public hearing that's what they would address at the public hearing. Now, what has changed is what they call the brick and mortar program. And we, at one time, just to kind of go over, we usually were between 33 and 35,000 a year, and we could do multiple years. We could even use some of our own money and pay back with that fund. Well, of course, that all was done. And then they dropped it to 7,500, then they raised it to 10, but 2,500 was the public service funding. So
Right.
then we were 7,500 that we could allocate. And as you know, we tried that different times and it just didn't work.
Right.
So what this is, and the funds are allocated on a competitive basis. In other words, you have to present, and they're limited to $150,000, and you have to present what you're going to do with that, and present it to them. Then that is scored by a ranking, and I do have some information on it too, and strict deadlines for the project, and funds may not be reallocated. In other words, if something happened, then you couldn't take it.
Right, if we were going to do the project, then we don't.
Must make a realistic budget. In other words, you have to have some prices already in place that you know what it's going to cost, so on. And funding must be expended in 18 months. Now, some of that scoring can go against you if you've had money recaptured, if you've had. And I think it was limited to the last 2 years. And I don't think we've had money recaptured in the last 2 years because we've allocated it to the public service fund.
Right.
And then we the rest we put into minor home repair. And some emails with Donna's submitted there that I don't think anyone's ever actually took that. I think they had one application for that, but then it wasn't sufficient to cover it. I believe that was what she emailed back to us. So actually, nobody utilized that. The other is another, you get a plus if you put some of your own money, like if you had a $150,000 project and you had put another 150 in it, 50% gets you 10 points or something like that. There's different things that do that, but and there's different things that will actually go against you, which that. But the one problem I see with this is, I started composing a letter that Don could type an email to get more clarification on this. The only thing that would seem, and I don't even know if it would qualify, is the library, where you want to replace the furnace and you want to do updates on handicap and redoing the back end because it's a mess back there, things like that. And I don't know, but we could find out on that. And the other thing is, what we used to spend this money on roads, and I don't know if roads would now qualify. And the other thing that qualifies, if your LMI, which is low to medium income, is percentage-wise, if your population is below, I think it's 49.5 or 49.9 or something like that. I mean, is that or above, I should say that. And ours, and I don't know why they did this, but they combined us with Richard Township, and I think ours is around 30, now it's 33. So that's against you. And so the chances of us, it seems rather slim, but there is a meeting on, I think I wrote it down here, so I think it's December 2nd.
Larry, didn't we have the other problem that with dealing with these guys is that they didn't give you enough time to get a proposal out to the bid,
Well,
and then to get it back to get them, and then to get it happen?
Yeah, well, that happened a year ago on something, and the trouble is, we would have had to expend money with an architect and different things to do something, and when you put all the figures together, you couldn't meet the deadline that they wanted. And so, but something like this, if they did qualify, and we could, we can't qualify this year. We had no projects this year that we could qualify for that period. But, so you're right, and if we,
And yet again, if we don't have anything going on right now to use this for whatsoever this year, then we don't know that these rules are still going to be in effect next year. So there's really no reason talking about it.
Well, Eric and I discussed this many times about whether we should even continue, but I think I would suggest that, first of all, I can write a letter or have Donna email and try to get more information. I think really somebody, I'm the one that should attend the meeting probably on December 2nd, but I can't guarantee anything right now, just the way things are. And so if somebody did, we could probably get a little bit more information on this. But there's a possibility that we should just drop out of this thing entirely. But before we actually make that decision, I think we should go, somebody, if I can go, I'll go, but I don't know if I can. But if somebody really should attend that meeting, and I think this meeting starts at 10 instead of 9, if I remember correctly. So anyway, these are the changes made, and the problem is that if you put the package together, and you're going to have to do a lot of due diligence and make sure you got everything right. You're competing. There's still no guarantee.
You can spend all the time and effort to try and get it, and then based on their criteria, we never may even match up.
No, you may not.
And you do a lot of legwork for nothing.
Yeah, but $150,000, if you got it, is a lot of money. But the thing is, you got to say if you had a $150,000 project and you put $50,000 of your own money in it because it was $200,000. All of it has to be under Bacon Davis. All of it has to be prevailing wage. And if it was 150, you put 150 of yours in, a whole package has to be under Bacon Davis.
Right.
Yeah, so what I'm recommending, we don't go one way or the other right now, but somebody attend that meeting and get a little more information. So, so that, I don't know if there's any other questions or not, but that's kind of basically it.
I have a question, Larry.
Yeah.
Is there like a percentage number of how much more it costs due to Bacon Davis for a project?
There isn't, but I think you could figure, I think a minimum of 10%, maybe even 20%, or 15%.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because,
Because I know that when we did the ramp, it was estimated to be 25 to 30,000, and I know we only got one bid, but it was more than double.
it was 65,000, but that bid was, that bid was, that should be, under Bacon Davis, that should only been about 30,000. I had mail quote that, by the way, and I can't put my figures.
Well, that's 20% though, right there, 25%,
Yeah,
right?
right.
If we thought it was gonna be 25 and it should
Well, I
have been
figured
35, right?
it'd be 25, it's maximum 30. But Mel quoted that, and I can't remember his figures, but it's under 20.
Well, once you go to contractors that are gonna bid it under the Bacon Davis Act and pay prevailing wage, you
Yeah.
shorten up how many contractors are gonna come in.
Well, see, and our problem was that the money we were collecting, would have collected like 7,500. No big contractors would do it. Small contractors don't want to bother with Bacon Davis.
Right.
There's so much paperwork, and you got to dot every I and cross every T, or you're in trouble. And so we run into a lot of problems when we just did this project out here because we just doing that because of the
Yeah.
contract and so on. So, yeah, big contractors won't, as I said, won't even tackle it. And we did 2 projects that we put our own money in. I think we put them both together, probably $5,000 or $6,000, and we didn't get them. And that's money spent and just down, well, it wouldn't necessarily be down the drain because if we did something over there other than put that out for, putting the millage out again, which I understand that's talked about doing in the
Right.
summer, or in the spring. But if we did it on our own, we got the blueprints and all for that, but,
We've already done the legwork on that one.
yeah. So anyway, that's where you're saying, and what I'm suggesting, we hold off till we attend that meeting and see if we can get a little more information at this point. And we have time, we don't have to do the public hearing until, I think, the very latest would be the first meeting, well, we only have one meeting, so it'll be the first meeting in February. That'd be the very latest, if we go with it. So that's basically it, so, okay?
Didn't we lose out on money for the lagoons because of this city?
Well, that was a
That's
one,
different.
that was a one-time deal back, what,
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. And
So that
that,
wouldn't keep us out of that if we went to try that again? It's a 3-year thing, was it?
well, I don't know if that money's.
Was it Tigers?
Yeah.
I think it was called or something like
I
that?
don't know if it's still even up, so it's still out there.
Some kind of an acronym.
Yeah, we'd have to look at that again.
So,
Oh, okay.
no action on that?
Yeah, no action, but just, I'd let somebody, if I can't attend, I'd let somebody attend that. Okay.
Next one, cell phone for myself. I would like to have a separate phone, a separate number for the city as opposed to just using my own and have the city buy a phone. I would probably buy the same things I've got, it's a couple $100. And what I would do is put it on my program and then whatever the difference is to add a phone, which I think it's like 20 or 25 bucks a month. That way I have a completely different number from my personal cell number.
What cell company do you use?
I use consumer cellular.
Oh,
Right
yeah,
now,
okay.
what I have, unlimited talk, text, 3 gigs of data, it's $60 a month for 2 phones. So I think to
So
have
the
another
other phone
phone
would only be,
is another 20, 25 bucks, I think, something like that.
okay.
How much is the phone?
For what I have, because I would get the phone that's an iPhone, the same operating system as I have, it's a iPhone S6 or something like that, they're like $200 at Target.
1995.
Yeah. I don't even think they sell those anymore, do they?
I got a special order.
I got one that's, it's gonna be gone, it's a flip. It's starting to act like.
It wasn't that long ago that I got rid of my flip phone.
At the end of
so.
the year, it's the food is gone, so
Anyway,
I gotta do something on that.
You can get extra phone numbers put on your existing phone, I know we talked about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
You can go
well,
to,
maybe that's something I'll look into.
yeah, instead of carrying two phones, you can have another phone number
You can have-
directed to your phone, that way you don't have
you can
to.
have like 3 or 4 phone numbers.
And I'll look into
Google
that as
provides them
opposed
for
to
free.
getting another phone, but I just looked at to see, pick up the cost of the difference in the service, I guess.
So you want a motion then to approve it? I just make a motion to approve the cell phone for the mayor and.
All right, thank you.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
All right, police department raises. Okay.
All right. So I know we've been talking about this now for 3 or 4 months, kind of been discussed and knocked around. I figured it was just time to bring it up and put it up for a motion. Let's vote on it and see where it goes. So I have a letter there from me. I did not include FICA in here, so the first number for the patrol at 1975 would actually be 2126, which is 7.65% extra that we pay for, what's FICA, is it federal?
Social Security.
Social Security, yeah, okay, right. And sergeant 10% premium would be $23.39, and the chief's pay would be $30.14. That's the actual numbers with FICA included. I know there's another thing here from Larry, which I'm not exactly sure how those two worked out. Chief, did you have something you wanted to add?
Larry and I discussed this briefly. The numbers that you proposed are pretty accurate. So, I don't know how much detail you want to go into, but
Okay.
and that's what we were discussing for the meeting. So if you guys want to take a look at this real quick, these numbers are, again, just reflective of your proposal, but they were just clarifying.
Take one first step.
Are you talking about the difference between what he has down here, this 28,138,
Yeah.
and the 14,000?
I think we need one more.
I thought,
Is there one more?
the FICA's not like that.
I only have one.
So I'm gonna make a copy.
It's actually proposal 2 is reflective of Eric's proposal.
2.
The hours now, the total part-time hours working then, you're saying would be 3,220.
That's what that's right. Altering the schedule from the original.
Yeah,
numbers, correct.
my figures are based on the part-time budget of 62 or 3,000, I
Yeah.
think it was, if I'm going down quickly.
Yes.
Divided by 15.75 an
Right.
hour comes out to roughly 4,000. So
Right.
you're cutting part-time officers down about 1,000 hours.
No, not quite that much, no.
But-
But I am putting them on a fixed schedule.
I don't know,
A fixed schedule,
Okay.
you know, to coincide with the pay period.
Yeah.
So that like our discussions in the past, I have 2 officers that are working 99% of the hours.
Okay, you're right, you're cutting them down, but.
So I'm cutting them down, but I'm putting them on.
800 hours or 780 hours.
Over a total year, correct?
Over a full
Yes.
year. Okay, so, because my figures were based on, when I calculated it out on the budget, were based on 4,000 hours, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna have about 800, or 780 hours less.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. So, if you take and the increase, on one was $4 and the other was $4.40, right? Is that correct? One was $4 and the other was
Then
$4.
the additional 10% on top of that for the
Well, okay.
contract, yes.
So,
Yeah.
based on $4, it would be, 12. That'd be roughly $13,000 plus FICA.
Plus FICA, yes.
Yeah,
Puts you
and
right at that.
So that would be then plus FICA, okay. What I'm trying to figure out is actually what the increase in the budget.
Proposal 2, Larry, right at the bottom, it
Proposal
tells
2.
you the overall
14,
increase.
320.
Oh, right here. Okay, 14,320. And that, and now your wages would be, let's see, you're making 20, what I have,
To maintain the same differential that I'm at now, that's what that number is.
okay.
That's all it's doing is,
All right, and the total now is, I think I have, total now is, 26, it's 54. Okay. So then that would put it up to, 54, and that would be another, percent. You get that figure?
You had it on 50,
It's all on-
it's 58.
Yeah,
Proposal 2, Larry.
it's, right now, you make 54,000 a year. So now you'd be making,
I do?
oh, I'm sorry, 49,000. I'm talking,
I want your number, I want to use your numbers. Just
I
put it right.
threw that, yeah, I was looking at the figure where I had the insurance in there.
Yeah, it's going
You're
from
right, it's
49 to
It's
58.
49,000. Yeah, so it's gonna go up $9,000.
It's maintaining the same differential that it is now, but it's patrol and sergeant to be correct.
So we had, what, we had 13 on the other, or 14? No, we had 9, and we had what they say, the patrol officers were, well, 13, right?
Total?
The police chief was 9, and the other, and the FICA was 13, that's 22,000.
No, but their increase is only the 4 figure that you have in front of you, that's the increase. Total increase. So you add the 2 together.
I'll come up even with that, did I do something wrong? I think we should figure that out a little more. Is your differential 9 with FICA, or is that just the wages?
That's the difference in wages. The FICA, I put separately, the actual FICA number increases there separately, but it's inclusive of the final number.
The FICA increase is 703. It's included though?
It is in that final number, yes.
Okay.
You've got this number, and the increase is $4. That's $12,000.
Less hours.
Yeah, but this is the total hours that the part-time's gonna be now, right? Total part-time officers gonna be about, you got around 3,200, right?
Yes.
And if you just multiply that by 4, that's 12,000.
Almost 13.
Yeah, almost 13. And you got added patrol costs 4,000, what's that wrong?
It's correct.
Huh?
It's correct.
Well, I guess what I gotta do is I gotta see it right now, just looking at these figures, but,
You gotta remember, 800 hours less.
yeah, but if you, this is the total hours you work, and one of them gets 440, but the other, even if you figured at $4 increase of those, that hours would be,
It was 800 less hours.
it's not 800 less than this though.
I know, but when you increase and you reduce your hours,
We're decreasing the hours by about...
For the part-time, right? You're increasing their rate, but
Increasing the rate,
Lowering their hours,
decreasing the
correct.
hours by about 600. 700, yeah.
Right.
so they make more, but they'll work less.
Yes.
Hours.
I don't see it. I've got to look at it, but I don't see it. I think I can see how you, if you're working 3,222 hours, and your increase in wages goes from 1575 to 1975, that's $4. You're working that many hours, so it's $12,000, almost $13,000.
right, but you were working this many hours.
I know, but,
You're looking at the total
no, but,
over the course of a year.
yeah.
It's also a $5 raise, not a $4 raise. What is
Proposal
that?
2,
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Proposal
saying,
one,
because
proposal
we
one.
budget, you're
No,
saying
two
we
is
budgeted, since we budgeted for 4,000 hours, you're saying the effect on the budget.
yes,
Okay, all right, now I understand.
the difference, correct.
You're affecting the budget that much.
That's over what it is currently.
Yeah. but
That's how much
the
more it's gonna
employee-
cost us.
The employee though is getting, okay, you're affecting the budget.
Yes, the employee doesn't matter because they have multiple people
Okay.
working those hours.
That bottom line is the budget,
Yeah, okay.
not the change
I,
in the weight.
All right, I understand,
Okay.
I understand it now.
Okay.
I gave you the final end result
Yeah.
number of
Because
the budget change.
you're reducing the budget by 1,000 hours, what? yeah.
7, 8.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I know what you're saying now, okay. I know what you're saying.
I'm not as sharp at math as you, but I'm pretty sure those figures are
Yeah,
correct.
no, because what I was saying, the increase, is definitely that, but when you look at the budget,
What I already have budgeted and what I'm asking for in addition to, that's
I see what
that's
you're
correct.
You know that
About your,
this was 2 before, right?
your officers, your full-time officers are
I don't
on
have
board.
any full-time
Yeah.
officers.
I know
All right,
that. But-
These, the ones that you
Yes.
plan to make full-time
Yes,
are
eventually, yes.
on board with this?
Obviously, as we discussed, the police committee and that board meeting, first choice would be to bring them on full-time.
Right.
I think at one time she was.
Second choice would be this in the interim until we get to that point to retain them, to maintain them, and potentially attract other officers from other agencies around us. Give them an incentive to actually come work here because I don't have one now, to fill those spots where the other officers aren't working.
This
So,
is
yes.
in lieu of making them full-time
For now,
until the
yes.
possibility. of-
Yep, and they understand, and they're not gonna leave, and they're gonna stay, like we discussed, if I lose those two, I lose 99% of my
That
workforce.
was gonna be my question, they're okay with
They're,
this for now?
they don't love it, I don't love it, but they're good with it for now, and at least it puts them in the same ballpark as our surrounding communities that are making that money. And again, the money I'm asking for is still not putting us even middle to top, it's still putting us at low middle, comparably speaking to our surrounding communities. They understand that, they understand the situation, and they're good with that for now, and they're gonna stay. And in return, I'm gonna put them on a fixed schedule where they have every other weekend off. They're not working a piece of every weekend. It's something they can actually schedule their other things around. It just makes it easier and it gives them a reason to stay, which is what we discussed from the beginning. That's what I need.
Are
That's
you
what I need to offer them.
are you limiting your staff in just 2 people at this point, or?
I'm not limiting it to them. I have to work that out with their union representative because they are under union contract.
Yeah.
But I only have 2 people working right now, so it's not
You
gonna
don't have
change.
any other part-time?
Nobody else wants to be on the schedule. I mean, they have equipment.
Well, I have other officers, but some of them I've seen once or twice the entire year.
Well, they're probably
So
only doing it to keep their license, is that?
that's all any of these officers are doing, Larry, at part-time agencies, yeah, that's all they're doing. That's why I wanted a couple full-time officers to make it real, have some buy-in to this agency, because everybody else is just keeping their
We have
certification.
a budget.
Is this on this chart, on your chart?
I don't want, listen, we discussed this, I refuse to put a warm body in a uniform in a car, that's not fair to them, it's not fair to you, it's not fair to the city. Gone down that road before, and it doesn't work, and I refuse to do that, so we need to offer something to maintain these quality people that want to be here. That's what I've been trying to stress the last few months.
Okay, I understand that where you're coming from now, okay.
The numbers aren't as big as you.
Well, no, you're reducing the budget by that, because you're going by the budget, but I was looking at.
Total budget.
Yeah.
Yep, I figured that's what you wanted, I just want the budget numbers, so.
Yeah, okay. That's
Can I make
what
one?
I just want to have one question.
Oh, yes.
On the 60 hours per week, is this all doubled then for two people? Would it be
No,
two?
no, I
Because-
only, no,
So how do you get 60 hours a week?
no, 60 hours of pay period.
Well,
Because,
it has up here
Yep.
60 times
Yep.
52 weeks. It should be times,
no, but it's split,
26.
no, it's 60 hours for two people working, correct, if you break
so
it.
this would all be double. Because here it says it looks like there's only 32 hours the first week and 20.
That is simply a schedule for, so that it works within the pay period, that's all those numbers are. But the actual shift, the hours worked, you have 60 a pay period right total, I guess. So no, it's not double, it's a single officer working a single shift, that's the amount of hours you end up with. Or I'm sorry, two officers split that shift, but that's the total hours you end up with, let's say.
Over
That's
2
based-
weeks.
Your man
based on
hours
that.
per
Over a
pay
2-week period.
That's
It's
for
60
pay period.
hours.
Correct,
But on your first line, it says 60 hours times 52 weeks.
right.
Should that be times 26 weeks?
What do you mean?
Larry, are you with me?
No, I'm staffing 60 hours.
Oh, I was concentrating on something else.
I don't know how
Sorry.
else to explain it.
Each officer's working 30
Is each-
hours.
You have two
Three
officers
hours.
working 30 a week?
You could take you could say two officers.
Okay.
I have 6, but only 2 come to work,
Okay,
so
you
say
have-
2. Right, correct.
30
So
hours
it's only
each
30 hours.
for each one?
Right,
Okay, all right.
yes.
It's actually staggered, but it doesn't,
it's
what it works out to.
Yeah,
There's their
You
man
end up
hours.
with 60
basically.
hours.
Yes, correct.
This person and that person.
Can I get a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt proposal number 2, which is to give the patrol wage up to $19.75, the sergeant wage to $21.73, and the chief's raise of $9,194 to $28 an hour.
Support.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes,
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
No.
Okay, I got Martyr, Mazer, Riley, Schneider, Sofa, Stoops, yes, Wilson, no, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Next one.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna discuss the millage, that's on the last part of that.
Where was that
It's on this-
at? Your notes?
$2 million increase for police.
I'd like to just make a comment.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think you're probably talking about putting that millage for the library and the community center back in April or March?
March.
Okay, all right, so that's 1.25 mils. And I think I made a spreadsheet on what the cost of that's gonna be and how it relates to the value of each person's property, like the taxable value, and what that's gonna do. And also, you're talking about 2 mills for the police department, and then bringing the other millage up 6.3, I believe, or something like that, or 1.3 or something. I have a spreadsheet on it anyway, but.
Wait,
the,
6.3?
Yeah, where is it here?
The library is 1.25, right?
Yeah, you got, yeah, the library's 1.25, and the police would be 2, and the city would be 6.089. Now, when we started, Eric, you started a little bit after I did, but it was over 16 mills,
Right.
and now it's down to 13.9. So what I would rather see, the library's by itself, but what I'd rather see, instead of 2 mills for the police department, I would rather just see us raise if we're gonna raise the mills, raise them up at least to the 16 or maybe 2 or 3 mills. Now, the reason I'm saying that is that I think when we put the facts together, we'd have a better chance of passing. Plus, it gives it gives us to control it, how it's spent. That don't mean that we wouldn't necessarily we still could spend it in the police department, but it gives the council more control of how it's spent.
Right.
I think 2 mills for the police department probably would have a harder time passing than if you raised Hadley the Hadley, right,
Yeah.
do that.
And just
So I would
So we
think-
just do an override, bring the entire budget up,
Yeah.
and instead of going for
Yeah.
something for the library and something for the
Well,
police
no, I
department.
think you still have to do the library separate, because you can't raise enough money.
Oh, it's capital.
One's capital, one's operating.
Right, yeah, so you'd have to, if you're gonna do it, put the library on in March, on the primary, but don't do the other one till November.
So we could go up to 20, right?
You can go up to 20, but I think, I don't think you wanna go to 20, I think.
Well, it doesn't mean we'd have to levy 20 every year, but we
No.
could set it at 20, right?
Well, that's true, you wouldn't have to.
I mean, we set our millage levy at the beginning of the.
Well, we set the
at
millage
budget
level, but it's
meeting,
based on the Hadley, and therefore, that's why it's been going down.
Right.
Now, you figure, you collect 1 mill at the taxable value rate now, you would probably collect, and just round figures, 26,000 a year, at 1 mill. So if you raised it 2 mills, that'd be, 52, if you raised it 3, it'd be another 26,000, being 70, 78, or whatever it would be. So that would give us, and the council then would have their discretion how that money is spent. And if you do 2 mills for the police department, it don't necessarily guarantee that you're going to increase theirs, because if you, and I'll just put hypothetical figures, their budget is 208 right now, but if it was a 200,000, say, and so what we probably assign the 2 mills first, say rounded off at 50,000, because that has to be spent in the police department. But if you were under budget constraints, you would say, okay, I'll just take 150 out of the general fund, and it still maintains the 200,000. But I think if you took that millage, and I think we can justify that because putting it on our city millage, and I looked at some figures back, and in 2009, our property tax collectively was $413,000. Currently, it's $372,000 is what we collect. That's some 41,000 less.
And that's due to the Headley Amendment.
Right, that
Would
brings
decrease
that,
every
yeah,
year.
because when Eric and I started, well, it was, I don't know when it was when I started, it was over 16, and I think it's still over 16 when you started. So I would like to see, if we're gonna do that, put that on in November, and we can decide, but we could put 3 mil, whatever, but have a Hadley override. I think, and we can, if we do enough, I can put enough figures out for the Voice reporter and so on, and see if we can't justify doing that. But that's what I prefer. And if you're gonna put the millage on the 1.25, we should start that now.
So you're saying,
Fairly quick.
put the police millage proposal in with the city of Memphis proposal, just put them together and try to put it on the ballot as one.
Well,
Just eliminate the police
Just eliminate it.
proposal
We just put-
and just go
yeah.
for the Headley reset.
Hadley override.
Okay. Okay.
okay?
So that we could turn around and just take and boost the whole city.
Well, and then next year, when we do our next budget, then he ends up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They end up with the
So,
increase.
so I think what we should do, if we're gonna do this, is if you're gonna redo the library and community center, get to work on that, get that approved, do that now, and then after the first year, or anytime, if we're gonna do the other, decide what we're gonna do, and because then we'll have to work on that. We don't wanna, because there's so much you gotta go through to get the state approval, both on how,
Right.
how it's worded, plus how it goes on the ballot. So that's my opinion.
Okay.
And suggestion, okay?
Thanks, Larry.
You're welcome.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, so we'd like to replace our current Rescue 1. It's our primary rescue vehicle for medicals, mutual aids, things like that. It is a 2005 vehicle. We bought used roughly around 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. As you guys can see, I kind of listed some of the issues that we currently have with it. I don't feel it's financially responsible or capable of putting money into it due to the fact of the rust and the corrosion. So if we fix the mechanical issues, we still got the rust issues and the corrosion issues on the body. For us to dump any more money into it than we already have, I think it's time for us to replace it.
I discussed this with Justin, and I do have, I think it's probably justified, I do have some problems in as much that they're going to need a pumper one of these times, and pumpers, I think Justin said is around $400,000. We got about, and I haven't looked at it lately, but I think around $250 in the equipment replacement. And so this is going to knock it down in half, so it's going to take a while to get it. But from what he told me, they can be driving this vehicle down the road and it won't go over 45 miles an hour. And it shuts off?
Yeah, so that's the major electrical problem. Currently, right now, it happens intermittently. We will be responding to a call, and the vehicle will go into what the mechanics call limp mode, and it will not go over 45 miles an hour. For us to clear that, we have a technique that we use to clear that code to get us to that scene, and then get it back to the station here. But it's not a safe manner in which the guys are driving it right now. It's been in and out of Shepherd. Lincoln Mercury is the one that's worked on the vehicle. They work on several ambulance agencies, including Richmond Lennox, their vehicles. They haven't been able to diagnose it. They've been throwing sensors at it, thinking, this sensor may fix it, this sensor may fix it. That hasn't worked. I don't know where we stop.
Justin said that what they do, they turn the motor off while they're running, then turn it back on, and then it'll go back. Then it'll go back up to where they want it. The speed, but the trouble is, if they can take it into the service, it's actually working.
Correct.
So they put the computer.
So when we clear the code when we're driving,
Yeah.
The mechanic states that they can't fix what's not broken. When we drive it into
Right.
them,
It's not doing
the
it
check
now,
engine light's
so-
not on, it's working properly, because we had to clear it to get to the incident and come back. We can't, we had to make sure we made the incident, so. It's been an ongoing problem, that electrical, and then, like I said, I listed a couple of other things. Currently, right now, the front tires, the inside of the front tires are bald, so we got to replace those tires, and before you replace the tires, you got to fix the tie rods and stuff like that. You got to run into alignment.
They will give you, because we talked about a trade-in.
Yeah, so they'll give us $5,000 for that vehicle as it is right now.
Yeah, because the only other thing you can do is when if you got the other vehicles, try to resolve those issues, and you might get a little more, but you wouldn't resolve some of them, but.
We could probably fix some of them and maybe make a few dollars more. I don't know as far as mechanic cost, what it's going to cost to replace all those.
It's an unknown thing.
Correct.
Is it a 2019 or 2017?
So this one is a 2019. The other one that you guys probably seen was a 2017. I was talking with a dealer that brought out a 2017. Unfortunately, when he gave me the final price, that final price wasn't final to him. He was adding things onto it as we went along. So it wasn't working out for us. There was a lot of hidden costs that he was bringing into it. We were able to find this one that's actually a little bit better of a deal. So 2019 was 500 miles on
Was
it.
the other one then?
I'm sorry?
The one you talked to me about was the other one? or-
Yes, the other one I talked to you about was a 2017 with 6,000 miles on it.
Right.
This is a 19 with 500 miles on it.
So this is about $1,000 less.
$1,000 is less than that other one that we were discussing.
There's a lot less miles too. The other one had
6,000
miles.
Yes, this one
This
has.
got 500.
Correct.
Yeah, and this here is, Justin hasn't seen it yet, so whatever we decide here is
Correct.
still subject to their
Right,
inspection
so,
and approval.
Depending
really,
on what
still.
happens tonight, Doug and I will go and look at this vehicle Friday, and we'll, give the final blessing. I don't wanna, we're not gonna cut any checks or anything like that until we actually put our hands on the vehicle and see it.
What you want tonight then is approval to purchase it based on your inspection?
Our inspection, correct.
Does this company have any sort of warranty on this?
Yeah, so it's just like a vehicle warranty, so the Ford warranty's a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty on the chassis itself, right?
Okay.
And then the ambulance box or the rescue box comes with a 2-year warranty on electrical. The paint, I think, is 10 years or life of the vehicle. But yes, so there is warranties.
There is, yeah.
Correct.
What's your thoughts?
Absolutely.
You need it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta have a rescue vehicle.
Well,
again, I'm with Larry. Yeah, we at some point we're gonna have to get to that 400,000. But on the same hand, this vehicle gets used. We run 30 to 40 calls a month, and this truck gets 25 to 30 of those calls a month.
And if you have multiple people, I mean, you
Right.
got you there, and even if Richmond and Lennox shows up and everything, you still, I mean, we need to have our own.
This is our primary vehicle that we use majority of the time.
see, they have another one out there, and I did discuss it with you, where it's got the back end where I can carry people, and it theoretically could use that, but like Jesse told me, going over roads and so on, you pound the heck out of it.
Yeah, if we start using one of the bigger trucks to run medicals on, we're gonna run into some
Yeah,
problems
problems.
utilizing that down these dirt roads as
And
much
as
as.
a matter of fact, it facilitate or increase the time that you'd have to buy a bumper.
Right.
And so really I suggest we discuss it because I thought about it,
Right.
but he talked me out of it.
We would just shorten the life on one of those bigger trucks.
And everything costs more on the bigger.
I'll make a motion to allow the fire chief to sign the paperwork to purchase a 2019 McCoy Miller ambulance as long as he is satisfied with the condition of the vehicle and that it as specified for up to $122,200.
Support.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, other new business from Mayor. Just want to get it out there that we're looking for cookie donations for our tree lighting on December 6th. It can be brought here to the city office, is correct, Alan? And that's all I have. Eric?
Well, first of all, pretty good first meeting, man. You got us down to 12 meetings a year for city council. I'm pretty excited about that. The Lions are having a Thanksgiving Day meal on Thanksgiving Day from noon till 5. And if you are not interested in coming, but you would like to drop off food, you can drop it off around noon on that day. We'll be sitting around watching some football games and just doing the Thanksgiving thing. So if anybody you know who's by themselves and maybe doesn't see this or they want to come and hang out with us, it'll be open and everybody's welcome. We are accepting cookies, or if you want to drop off a hot plate or something like that of some food, we will gladly accept it. That's all I have.
Larry?
No, I haven't spoken enough tonight.
Ken?
Nice job, new guys.
I have
Abby?
nothing, thank you.
No. Jason?
I have nothing, motion to adjourn.